Hello Libra, this is your reading for the week of March 30th or whenever you hear it and it resonates. There's quite a bit here, so let me start with the first thing that I heard when I was asking Spirit what they wished to offer the Libra collective. And the first thing that I heard was a song by Adele, Rolling in the Deep. Now, I think of that song as being just really heart-wrenching. So I was confused because it didn't have that quality of energy. So when I looked it up, it was talking about the fact that it's actually a song about resilience in the face of breaking up, the coming back stronger, which goes along with the other image that I had of you, which was you standing there. And it was literally, Libra, like there were filaments of energy that were spirals, just very, very thin filaments of energy that were attached to you that are falling away. And as I was working with Spirit on that, it was filaments from the past, filaments of energy from the past that have kept you locked in, that have sometimes felt as though they curled around your feet and caused you to stumble and lose your momentum going forward. Not that you would have noticed it, that it was that, but it was that. So what they're showing me is that these filaments are literally just dropping away from you. And in conjunction with that song, which when I looked up said, this is about resilience and power and strength and coming back stronger, that's what it feels like to me. And when I tuned in even further, it was that really that sense that you have been able to let go of heartbreak, of things not working out, and whether or not it was around a single person or a specific person, or whether or not it was the history in this area of your life, your love life, your work life, your spirituality, that sense of almost repeated disappointment and pattern that was being held in place because of this energetic filament that was still there. Now what they're saying is the beliefs around that have been let go, and now it is a process of letting the energy continue to fall away. Now, what I'm going to say about this, there's more, and that is letting the energy fall away. Part of the way we let the energy fall away is by not re-engaging with it. So again, the symbol of the potter's wheel. When you put your foot on the pedal to make the wheel go, you're giving it power. When you take your foot off, the wheel still has to wind down. In the meantime, if it's coming around at you and there's still momentum, don't react to that momentum, because that's the equivalent of putting your foot back on the pedal. Energy has momentum, and sometimes it just needs to wind itself or unwind itself and let go. So what Spirit is suggesting is this for you. It seems as though there are certain issues that you might be having that are around somebody's opinion about what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. And it might be yours. It might be your opinion. It might be you looking at this. And it's interesting because, Libra, of all the signs, you're one of the ones, because of the scales and because of the nature of how your air energy works, you very often go back and forth in terms of your decisions. You're the justice scales, right? So it's natural. It becomes a natural part of your thinking mechanism to be assessing things accordingly, good, bad, opposites. Where does it land on the scale of justice or truth or whatever your balance, whatever your scale is measuring? Now, what they're saying here is you might have some conflicts around what you think is right and wrong, or what somebody else thinks is right and wrong. But what they're saying is you don't need to be certain all the time. You are allowed to not know all the rules. You are allowed to make mistakes, Libra. And understand, please, this is really important. Understand that as soon as you start moving towards something different, better, change of some kind that is more in keeping with how you would like to be, whatever that is for you, you're already in the process of doing it, because the mind is the strongest. It's got to start in the mind before it ends anywhere else, before it manifests somewhere else. So the fact that you're even thinking about it, the fact that you're even prepared to let go of whatever it was you thought you did wrong, this is coming now, whatever you thought you did wrong in order to cause something to break or to end or not come to fruition, please have some awareness about the fact that you're not the only one involved. That not only are there other people or another person or another philosophy involved, but there's also divine presence. And you're being asked to remember, as you're looking at these things and as you're assessing your good and your bad or somebody else's, to remember that no matter what you think you know about the situation, no matter what you think is true, no matter what your belief might be around this right now, there are other influences in this than you, and it is the divine presence, it is the sacred, it is God, it is higher consciousness that permeates everything on this planet, everything. And so you're being asked, remember that. And in the process of remembering that, start really looking at messages that are coming to you, because the thing with you, my loves, is you can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, certainty, doubt, doubt, certainty, many permutations for you. By deliberately focusing on intuition, what you're doing is you're opening up to the reality that there is more than just you, and that you are allowing yourself to be open to guidance from that. So in terms of intuition and asking you to play for intuition, what this card is saying is act as though it's real, expect answers, ask for information, and then in the process of humbly allowing yourself to realize that there's more than just your perception that might be accurate or more clear, more true, more specific to what's going on than what you realize. There are nuances that you may not determine. By deliberately following your intuition, what it does is it helps you get more into your body, and getting more into your body helps you with your intuition. That allows you more and more, increasingly, Libra, to move away from yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and into a yes or no, either one. And it might be maybe, because things still are working out and playing out. That's possible too. But the whole act of working with your intuition is really about trusting that there is a connection to a higher level of consciousness that is helping, that is there, that is actually helping manifest things, and that you have access to that. You have access to that deeper layer of wisdom and knowing than you have often given yourself credit for. And sometimes it's just a matter, Libra, of starting to act as though. Act with that intention. Treat it like an experiment so that you don't worry about right and wrong in the same way. I'm going back now because they're showing me again the filaments of energy, and they really want to stress something about that for you. What is it? Yes. The issue they were saying in the beginning about not re-engaging with it, not worrying about it, not going into analysis about some of the energies that are coming up for you right now. You might see them now as they're unwinding. You might see them now as they're floating away. Be mindful of whether or not you start feeling them tying around you. What's that going to feel like? That's going to feel like confusion. That's going to feel like stuck. That's going to feel like I don't know what to do. That could feel like just frozen in time and space. You might feel it, experience it as that part of the nervous system, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, that freeze place. And if that happens, this is what they're saying. Remember, that is old energy that's coming up. And old energy is coming up for almost everybody now because our structures are being broken down in the world around us, and there's a reflection of that within us. So it makes sense that anything that is keeping you from being in a solid state within yourself and secure in your own structure is going to come up for you to look at. So it's actually a really good thing. It's a really positive thing. And what I really like about it, Libra, is that they're showing me these things as just wisps of energy that are falling away. So you can assist in the process of letting them fall away by not getting into too much analysis of the virtue of any one specific thing. You can allow yourself to watch them, notice them, and use some of the techniques that you've learned before to be able to stay in touch with deeper feelings beyond these wisps of energy that come up. Because what can happen is when it comes up, when we see it, we can go, oh my gosh, that's still there, and go into it, as opposed to, oh my gosh, look, that's leaving. Right? So now you're being asked, when you have difficult emotions come up or indecision, any of the things that typically might kind of hogtie you, do your best to look at it like that. Oh, look, there's something. And instead of going into the old story about it, allow for the fact that there is a new story. And part of the new story is in it going. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, my very dear Libras. You take care.